All right, guys, welcome back to the Inside the D podcast, episode 2. Just over a week's gone by since the Premier League has restarted. So we're going to take a look at the first week. We're going to look at winners and losers. Parker, give me a winner team.
Winner, Man U, obviously. They looked really great. Pogba had a great performance. They all performed really well. They looked pretty much dominant out there, especially when Paul Pogba got subbed on in that Tottenham match. But Sheffield, they had him in their back of their hand the whole match.
Yeah, I mean, United's looking scary. You know, from a Chelsea fan standpoint, it's not looking too great. United don't have the hardest schedule left to play, but they've played really, really well, scary good this week. So not great if you're a Chelsea fan, because Chelsea has a bit of a tough schedule. But I would agree with you saying definitely Manchester United is a real winner. Eco, winner, loser? What do you think?
I know you boys are Chelsea fans. I'm personally not, but I really do think they were a winner this week. They beat one of the top teams, not only in the Premier League but in the world. I think that was a big win for them. Pulisic played very well that game. Aidan has his jersey on the wall.
Yes, he did. He played really well.
He had a great solo goal. But I just liked the way that Chelsea was playing. You know, they were one of the stronger teams coming back from the long break.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, the win against Aston Villa, so it started off a little shaky, right? We go down 1-0 in the first half, and then it's halftime, it's 1-0 Aston Villa, who's a relegation team. So that's a little scary. And then, of course, you have Pulisic coming on and scoring, Giroud scoring, and we win. That's good. And then we play Manchester City. Unbelievable game. Very exciting. And like you said, Pulisic scored another goal then, got the man of the match. So I would agree with you saying Chelsea's definitely the winner so far. And besides Liverpool, Manchester City was Chelsea's hardest opponent left. We still play Liverpool, but that's it. That's definitely a huge roadblock that I didn't think we were actually going to come away with the win there, but we did. So Chelsea definitely a winner there. Parker, anything on Chelsea?
I mean, third place hopefuls. That's all I got to say.
We're
within 1 point of Leicester. I'm liking it.
Yeah, and Leicester hasn't been in great form. I wouldn't call them a loser, but I wouldn't call them a winner. It's just sort of
Did draw to Brighton.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and then they drew to Watford. They had a 90th minute goal and then another 90th minute equalizer from Watford. So, they're not in the best form. I could definitely see Chelsea catching up if we maintain the form that we're in right now. I'm going to start off and say loser for me. Sheffield United. We all like them. Nobody hates Sheffield United. How can you? Started off really, really well, obviously in the Premier League. But then this whole lockdown thing really, really messed them up. I mean, the first game back, they should have won that game against Aston Villa. The whole VAR ruled out that goal. The goal line technology wasn't working, but they drew to Aston Villa. Not great. Then they lose 3-0 to mid-table team Newcastle, and then they lose to United. So keep in mind, they haven't scored a single goal since the restart. What do you think the problem is for Sheffield right now?
They lost their swagger, bro. There's Sheffield United swagger with all the overlaps and fake overlaps. You just don't see it as much. Like, you see a little bit of it, but it's just not enough to get the job done. Yeah, especially without their run of form that they were on before the restart happened. The break definitely messed them up. Like, they had all the momentum going into it. Keep in mind, they were like challenging for a Europa spot, but they just didn't make it.
They're really falling off. It's a shame.
Yeah, I think like before the break, they like what Parker said, they had so much momentum. Like, they were just winning out. Like, each week they kept winning. And this long break really, like, coming back showed that, like, maybe it was the momentum that was helping them win. Maybe they're not as skilled as everyone thought they were.
Yeah,
kind of underperforming.
Right, and you think maybe, just maybe, the fans have something to do with it. I mean, scoring. I mean, okay, for Sheffield United, who were in League One a few years ago, got double promoted up to the Premier League, and were in a Europa League spot, possibly Champions League. Now they haven't scored a goal in their first 3 games. Does it have to do with fans? I mean, what do we think? Is fans really have, not just for Sheffield United, but do we think the fans have a huge impact on it, or is it just unlucky for Sheffield?
I personally think it's just age. A lot of the Sheffield guys are older than the rest. Like they're out there running with, like they're gonna end up running with Rashford. Well, I mean, they ran with Rashford. Rashford was like, look, he's like got 5 years of them or something. Like most of the Sheffield guys are old except for new signing Sander. But
You like that guy?
love Sander. He hasn't been performing too well himself.
Not really. He's just adjusting. Next year he'll get there because he has the potential to be Sheffield's best player next season, in my opinion.
He's beautiful.
I mean, he's played in Europe before. Obviously, he's played for Genk. I think it was right. They signed him from Genk.
Yes.
Yeah, I could agree with you on that one. I mean, age definitely has it, and it might just be they've lost their fitness. I mean, training pretty much every day and playing a game every weekend to now playing 3 games after you've missed 3 months of training. It's really going to take a toll on you. And I mean, obviously, I think we're all pretty disappointed in how Sheffield's performed. But I want to talk about players. Is there a particular player that stood out to you guys?
I think, Martial and also Adama Traore. He's been playing very, very well.
Yeah.
And I just saw today that Liverpool actually put in a bid for him. So
Did they really?
I mean, you can see, other teams are really like seeing he's got a lot of skill.
Did you get that off your ghetto Italian transfer Instagram?
It's off ESPN, but
a couple years ago, Iko told me that N'Golo Kante was confirmed to Manchester United because it's a done deal on his Italian Instagram.
But yeah, I just think he's come back stronger than a lot of the other players in the Premier League. You know, his pace has helped him because, you know, a lot of the other people might not be as used to the running since they had the 2-month break.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. I mean, Adama Traore, who people call overrated because he had a couple of good games, had a good game against Man City, had a couple of good games against Man City, but I don't think he's overrated. I wouldn't say he's underrated. I think he's just rated. You know what I mean? He's very good. He's the fastest player in the league, in my opinion. And he doesn't get as much credit as I think he deserves from the haters. You know, there's a lot of haters. Oh, he's overrated. He's not that good. He's very good. He's very good. Pep Guardiola,
it's huge,
head coach of Manchester City, said he's one of the hardest players we've played against this season, if not the hardest. And that's coming from one of the best managers of the best team. And obviously Wolves did the double over City. And Adama scoring in both of those games. So yes, Adama definitely a big winner of the week for sure. Parker, what do you think? Any winners, losers?
I say winner Martial. He had been highly questionable up until recently. He obviously is a class player, but he hadn't been having the season that most expected of him. Right. But then he had the first hat trick for Man U in the Prem in, I don't know, was it 7 years? Yeah.
Robin Van Persie, the last player to do it. So
and I'm not taking away from it, but I'm saying that should have been a scoring, like that should have been like 7-0 that game. Man U
just looked bad.
Rashford missed an easy chance off Martial's beautiful feed. I just don't know. I don't know what to say. Like, Man U looked scary good. Like I still can't get over it.
They really did. Man United looked very, very scary. Yes, Martial definitely a winner of the week. Obviously, first hat trick in his career and first hat trick for United in the Premier League for 7 years, which is obviously a really, really big deal. For winners, I'm going to stay on Manchester United, and I'm going to say Marcus Rashford. Not too much from what he's done on the field, even though he's played well, but from what he's done off the field, obviously donating all of that money. I don't want to say a number because I don't want to say the wrong number or anything, but what he's done off the field as of right now is just unbelievable, and I think we got to show him respect. I'm not a big Rashford fan, but, I mean, utmost respect for Marcus Rashford for this. I mean, it's just really, really, really great to see. So he's definitely a winner for me off the pitch. On the pitch, I'm going to say one that maybe you guys weren't thinking of, maybe Parker was, Cesar Azpilicueta of Chelsea, right back. He was, before this year, he started every single Premier League game for the past few years. And this season, he sort of fell out of favor. We had Reece James, there was a rotation for Azpilicueta, but he's really, 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 since the start of the Premier League again, has really shown his worth. I mean, he's getting older. He is our captain, but I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't play at all next year. But he really, really played well. He won man of the match in the game against Villa. So I'm gonna have to say he's probably my big winner for Chelsea at least this week. Let's see. What game stood out to you guys? What was the most exciting game for you guys?
Sticking on Chelsea, Pulisic looked really well.
Yeah,
He had a lot of haters too. Like people were saying he was overrated, too much money, but I don't know. He definitely showed his worth the past 2 matches. And also Cesar, before we had the restart, he didn't look that fast. Like he looked like a step behind everyone. It wasn't fun to watch as a Chelsea fan. But now coming back, he looks like he got it back, and he read all the passes really well.
Yeah, he did. He looked really great, and you love to have him on your team. He's great captain for sure. And yeah, I mean, I want to point out another team, not so much a winner or loser, but Tottenham. Do we have any opinions on them? Eco, what do you think? Tottenham or nothing?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think they lean too strongly either way. I think they were kind of just average. They weren't like you said, they weren't huge winners. They weren't huge losers. I mean, they're a solid team, but they lack the excitement that a lot of the other Premier League teams have.
Yeah, I agree. And they're still fighting for a Champions League spot and Europa League. I mean, I'm not going to be surprised if they make Europa League, and I wouldn't be too surprised if they made Champions League either. So now we've sort of talked about the top of the Premier League table. Now I want to go to the bottom, arguably the title race. And by the way, Liverpool, just to mention, obviously we know they're champions now. Sure, yeah, they're winners, I guess, but it's Liverpool. We knew they were going to win. The title race was not nearly as exciting as the relegation battle at the bottom. So I want to look at those teams. Obviously, Norwich, they're getting relegated. There's no question about that. But if you want to look at the bottom half of the table, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, West Ham at 27 points, Watford at 28. Who are the favorites to get relegated, and who's staying up?
Realist.
I mean, yeah, like I think West Ham will actually be able to make it out.
Parker's giving you the death there right now. That's the second
time.
time.
Parker. All right, Parker, you can go.
No, you already.
Hey, go, Ego. Well, you just might as well.
Okay. All right. I think West Ham will be able to make it out of the relegation zone. They're one of my. I mean, they're a team that I like in the Premier League. So I'd hate to see them get relegated, but I think Aston Villa is going to get relegated, Bournemouth, and then of course Norwich City. I just can't see Norwich City getting, the 6+ points that they need to get out of the relegation zone.
It's just not going to happen. I would love to see Aston Villa go down. I can't name one player in Aston Villa that I particularly like. Jack Grealish, I'm not even a big fan of him, to be honest. But I hope they go down. I would say if I could choose who's going down, Bournemouth, Norwich, and Aston Villa. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what I want to happen because I don't want to see West Ham go in the championship. I like West Ham. But yeah, I mean, the relegation battle, obviously very exciting. I haven't taken a look at the schedule, so I don't know how tough they are coming up. But Norwich is done for sure. And then we'll see what happens with the other teams. And yeah, I mean, let's talk about one player. Ego and I talked about him a few times before this. Declan Rice, okay, playing for West Ham, who obviously, like I just said, is in the relegation battle at the moment. If West Ham gets relegated, I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to leave the club. But if West Ham stays up, is Declan Rice leaving or is he staying?
Declan, I don't know. I feel like he has to leave. Like there's nothing for him at West Ham. Him and Diop, I feel, are just going to waste their time playing their early years at West Ham. Like they could use their talent elsewhere. They could even go to I don't know, if they both ended up going to Wolves or something, that'd be huge.
Wolves. That would be great. I don't mind Wolves. I like Wolves. It would be great if he came back to Chelsea, obviously, Declan playing his youth career at Chelsea. But we don't need him. We don't really need him that much.
I don't know.
I don't want to say that. He's obviously an amazing player. He's only 21, I'm guessing. I think around.
He could play center back as well.
He can play center back, which Chelsea is currently lacking. But
I don't know. I just don't. I feel like West Ham is just. I don't want to say like they're a dead team, but like
they're a dead team. What have they done in the past few years? They've done, their biggest accomplishment, West Ham, two things: acquiring Declan Rice and staying in the Premier League.
basically,
Right?
yeah.
I mean, they haven't won anything. They haven't made Europa League. I mean, obviously, it's hard for a team like that to make the Europa League, qualify for European football, but we haven't seen them do anything. They're nothing special, right? You thought maybe a few years ago when they had Dimitri Payet that West Ham was coming back, but no, they're not. They're not. He left. Declan Rice is probably going to leave. Mark Noble's a
Diop.
million years old. You know, it's like they're going.
Diop's leaving.
Diop's leaving. How old is Diop? I'm not.
Diop's like 20, 23,
20. Okay, so
somewhere in that
really
range.
young. So he's really young. Speaking of Declan Rice leaving and transfers, let's talk about the big one. Let's talk about Timo Werner going to Chelsea. Parker, I want your thoughts on it as a Chelsea fan. What are your initial thoughts?
What do you mean? What are my thoughts? I'm in love with the guy. He's a beast. Like he can score against Bayern. Like that's all I care
That's
about.
all we need. We can't score against Bayern.
Nope, cannot.
You can't.
I don't think we've ever done it.
As the Champions League has shown us, we can't score against Bayern Munich.
Timo can.
Do you have any opinions on Timo Werner? What's the deal here?
I mean, I thought that transfer was actually very surprising. I remember when I was scrolling through Instagram, I saw it on Bleacher Report or something. I sent it to Aidan. Like, he didn't even know it was happening. I feel like it caught a lot of people by surprise.
Yeah.
Like, it was, and I think it's a great transfer. I mean, Chelsea, they've struggled in the past when getting strikers. This year and last year, Tammy was kind of acting as like one of the top strikers that they've gotten. But now that they have Timo, I think it's time that they start to sell some players that they have. So like you might see Tammy going. He might not want to sit on the bench behind Timo. I'd like to see Michy Batshuayi go because I think he's just wasting his career there. They just rarely play him.
I like Michy Batshuayi, but I agree. He's definitely not in the future plans for Chelsea. I'm not going to be surprised when he goes. Obviously, I've always loved Timo Werner as a player. I've always loved him. Hearing that he was going to go to Liverpool, not the best. And then Chelsea with the last-second swoop in. And keep in mind, we paid the release clause for about 53 million euros, which is an absolute bargain for Timo Werner. And like you said, we've had trouble with strikers in the past. When we first signed him, this was before the restart, I was thinking to myself, I said, we can have Werner on one of the wings, Tammy up front, or Tammy and Werner up front. Seeing that, Tammy obviously hasn't played much since the restart. Giroud has been playing instead of him. I wouldn't mind selling Tammy. I feel like we could make some good money for him and just having Werner and then having Giroud as a backup who's currently – he just signed a 1-year deal with us, so he'll be through the next season, through the end of next season. So having Werner starting at striker and Giroud as a backup and then possibly selling Tammy for some money, I wouldn't mind that at all. I mean, I really, really wouldn't mind that.
You're also forgetting about Ziyech. Ziyech's also coming in.
Also another cheap signing of around 40 million euros. Absolute bargain. Frank Lampard is my savior this season. I love Frank Lampard. I mean, this is what happens when you ban Chelsea for signing players for a year. This is what happens. We come out strong. We sign Hakim Ziyech and we sign Timo Werner. And of course, there's still rumors of us signing Kai Havertz and possibly Declan Rice. And then, of course, Parker, you were excited about this one. Upamecano from Leipzig, another player from Leipzig, center back. I mean, how amazing would that be if we?
He's a beast.
He is, and he's young too. We need that center back. We need the young center back.
If we get him, I feel like we could have 2 consistent starters instead of cycling every week.
Exactly.
It's a mess.
Because we don't know who the starting strikers are. We know Rudiger is our top defender, our top center back.
Best center back on the team. Yeah,
but then we're sort of cycling between Tomori, who's injured at the moment. We got Tomori, then we have Christensen, and then of course we have Zuma. So it's like that's already 3 center backs. We've got 4 center backs, 1 solid one, 3 that are all good, but we don't know who the starter is that's going to start alongside Rudy. So Upamecano would be the answer. We'd have Rudiger and Upamecano starting at center back.
But then it begs the question, who would we sell? We can't just have those 3 would not be content sitting on the bench every game.
Zuma will go on loan, like we've loaned him to Stoke and Everton in the past. Christensen, we can sell. He, first of all, had an unbelievable game against against City. I wouldn't mind selling Christensen if he's not happy with sitting on the bench. I wouldn't be if you're that young and you have that much potential. I would sell him for some good money. And Tomori, he'll sit on the bench. I think so. He's too young for us to just give him away like that. He's got too much potential. Fikayo Tomori is just a great, great center back, obviously, and I would not be happy if we let him go. So I think keep Tomori, sell Christensen, loan Zuma.
Yeah, I think another reason why you guys are going to keep Tomori is because, you know, Lampard said like he really like trusts the youth. He wants to keep them, and so I don't think we're going to see a lot of these young players get sold unless like they truly they don't need them. Like when you have Michy Batshuayi, who's the fourth string now, like you don't need him, so they're going to sell him. But like the rest of these youngsters, I think Chelsea's going to keep them in with the team for a while until they know for sure like this guy's not going to work out.
Absolutely, because if you know one youngster that comes to mind who's been unbelievable, but you don't know how much time Mason Mount is going to be spending on the bench next season with our new additions, and I think he'll be okay with that because he's going to be a world-class player in my opinion. Of course, we can't predict that, but in my opinion, he will be. And like you said, Lampard has all the trust in the youth. He's not just going to get rid of a bunch of youth players. That would be very, very. That would not be a smart decision in my opinion. Questionable, exactly. So. I agree. I think keep the young players, sell Christensen, even though he's been in the academy for a long time, and then just cycle between Mount, cycle Pulisic, cycle Ruben Loftus-Cheek, possibly sell Conte and Jorginho. What do you think about that? That's big.
No.
Really?
Maybe Jorginho. No, not even. Like, I can't see a team where we sell both of them. Like, what are we going to be if we sell both of them? What
I mean,
happen?
Conte, you guys could get so much money for him.
And sell him while he's 29?
Honestly, I want you guys to sell him, you know, this summer, and you can open up some more money to get, you know, a player that I truly love, who you guys were thinking of getting, Jadon Sancho.
Oh, I mean, yeah. Well, I haven't heard any news from him going to Chelsea in a little bit. I have no hope of that. It's more Kai Havertz now. But think about this. Kai Havertz and Ziyech, that's your midfield. Get rid of Conte. Get $100 million for that guy.
Hold on.
He's 29. He's going to be old in a couple of years. He's not going to go for nearly.
Hold the horses.
I know you're in love with Conte, and I love him too.
Hold on. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we can sell Conte now, get a ton of money. That's great. Jorginho, we need a captain. Like, obviously, Azpilicueta is not going to play. He's done. He's old.
Didn't we? You and I talked about this. Who was our captain that we decided if Jorginho and Azpilicueta left? Didn't we? Was that me and you?
Rudiger. Yeah, it was Rudiger.
Rudiger, right? Okay, yeah, Rudiger. My bad.
We said it would be Rudiger.
But, is that okay? Do you really like?
But do you think Rudiger is like going to leave the team?
No, that's what I'm saying. So have him be the captain. You don't think Rudiger's gonna leave, do you?
No. Oh, hell no.
That's what I'm saying.
But I just don't know the concept of selling Jorginho. Like, obviously, if he wants to leave, we'll sell him. Conte, I feel like we should sell.
Yes.
And then our midfield would be insane if we had Ziyech, Mount, and Havertz.
That's what I'm saying. Well, and also the man on the back of my jersey right now, Mateo Kovacic.
Oh my God, I totally
Chelsea's
forgot about
best player this season.
He's a beaut.
Yeah, you know he's been okay in since the restart. He's been okay, but I don't care about that. Since the beginning of the season, the very beginning of the season, he has been Chelsea's best player. There's no question about that.
100%.
And I think it was a great decision because we almost didn't buy him because it was a loan option to buy from part of the Courtois deal from Madrid. We almost didn't buy him. And then he became our best player. Obviously, Conte injured, you have to take that into consideration. But I think keep Kovacic, keep Ruben, sell Barkley.
Oh, 100%.
Keep Billy Gilmore. Obviously, he's very young.
What about Kepa? I mean, you guys obviously haven't shown a lot of trust in him. You know,
I've always been.
You keep swapping him.
I don't know. He's linked with Valencia.
I know. Well, it's a 2-year loan option to buy. Is that really worth it, or do we just sell him?
No, I say we
I mean,
do it.
I think you guys should sell him. You're not using him.
Yeah, I would rather
you
sell him.
obviously don't have trust in him. So like, why are you gonna keep him?
I'd rather sell him than loan him.
Okay, but if we sell him, who are we gonna get?
Onana. Andre Onana from Ajax. I love him so much. I don't think we're going to get him, but if we did, that'd be great. But keep in mind, Kepa's been playing well since the restart. He played well against Liverpool right before the coronavirus. And there's not really – I follow a few news sources from Chelsea, so and they're all Instagram. I don't know how reliable they are, but they post pretty much any rumor that has the name Chelsea in it. I have not seen a rumor about Kepa in a long time aside from the 2-year loan to Valencia. And we haven't linked with any goalkeepers in a while. So I've always been pro Kepa. I love Kepa. Obviously, he had a shaky season. Caballero played all right. We had the goalkeeper crisis. Everybody knows that. But I'm pro Kepa. He had one bad season. He had an unbelievable season in 18-19. And then he has a bad season in 19-20, and you're going to sell him? He's our record signing. He's the most expensive goalkeeper of all time. We can't just sell him. We're not going to make money off of it.
All right. Obviously, Chelsea's got a lot of drama. Let's move on to another team.
You're right. I don't want to be too biased. This isn't the bias podcast.
This isn't the Chelsea analysis podcast.
Ego, since Parker and I are biased Chelsea fans, why don't you bring up any team or any player, any topic you want to talk about right now?
We're on the topic of goalkeepers. So how about Arsenal right now? Leno injured, obviously. Reports of a torn ACL. So
yeah, even though
what are we going to see from them? Just play the backup, or could you see them signing someone to try and replace them?
I mean, damn, he got me 8 points on fantasy this week. I mean, come on. He's a cheap goalie, too, on fantasy. He's like 4.2 million. But he's 25. I don't know that off the top of my head. I Googled that earlier. He's 25. I think his name's Emiliano, last name Martinez. Okay, Arsenal having some trouble. I just had a big brain fart when I thought of Arsenal because of their crisis. But like staying on the topic of goalkeepers, Leno, great goalie. Parker, Iko, one of you guys said something about how he's returning in 2 months.
Oh yeah, I saw some report where it said he was coming back August 1st, 2020. I don't know how that's even possible. They're saying it wasn't a tear, it was a stretched ligament.
Okay, so it wasn't even a partial tear.
I don't know, but
I was jealous if he's coming back from a torn ACL after 2 months. I mean,
took you a year and a half.
Yeah, I mean, damn. But Leno, great goalkeeper. Arguably, I wouldn't even say arguably. He's the best player Arsenal has this season. Has been this season. He's been amazing. Martinez is just a good placeholder. Even if Leno comes back before the season ends, don't play him. Because what are you going to do? Make Europa League? No. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to get relegated. They're not going to make
that talented.
Exactly. So just rest him. Give this guy Martinez, who I had never heard of, give him some playing time. Let me keep getting points on fantasy so I don't have to bleach my hair. For those of you guys not aware of what I just said, Parker, Iko, and a couple of the boys have we have a fantasy league for the Premier League. We started around halfway through the season. And it's 8 people, and the loser has to either, bleach their hair or just get a buzz cut?
Shave it, yeah.
I'm in last place by about 30 points. So it's not looking good for me right now. It's actually looking quite terrible, and I don't want to bleach my hair, and I don't want to get a buzz cut. So I need fantasy points. I'm really, really in a bad position right now in fantasy. I don't like it. Iko's been doing well. This kid, I'm not going to say his name for privacy's sake, but there's this one kid who doesn't know too much about soccer, and he's second place in the league right now. It kind of grinds my gears a little bit. I'm not going to name names here. And, of course, we got our boy who's just absolutely dominating the league, first place, and he's not going to go to second. There's just no way. He's been having some trouble with he's a Leeds fan. Should we talk about the championship for a second?
No. Irrelevant.
No? I hope Leeds get promoted. As much as I don't want it to happen. I want Leeds to get promoted so we can play them next year, because then there's going to be a big rivalry, because Parker and I, we're Chelsea fans.
Kill them.
Exactly, but said that they do the double over us, which is absolutely ridiculous. I mean,
What do you think? Does Bamford even compare to Werner? Like, tell me that.
Bamford used to play for Chelsea, and he made 0 appearances because he's terrible. Bamford's not good. I read a stat. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was something like he has the most misses in the league, or he has the worst shooting conversion rate in the league.
Oh, probably.
Yeah, he's just not good. They have another striker who's on loan, but I'm pretty sure he's injured. And then they have some other good players. But you're right. We're not going to talk about the championship. We'll just give Leeds their 15 seconds of fame here. Okay, so I'm going to grab my phone right now. And I asked on the Instagram of Inside the D if you guys want to give it a follow. So for people to ask us some questions. So we have a pretty big audience of about 4 people. And they all asked us questions, and we're going to answer them. So let's start with Aidan Strong. He says, how many Premier League players play in the Premier League? What a dumb question, Aidan Strong. Why would you ask that? We're not going to answer that question. Sophie Malka asks the question. She says, why is Sophie, I don't know, but we're not going to answer that question. Now let's get to some serious questions.
Jesus Christ.
By the way, these are all our friends, and they, of course, are going to ask annoying questions. But Oliver Sohn, big Arsenal fan, asks,
yikes.
What's a realistic rebuild for Arsenal? Who wants to start? You want me to start? I can start.
I can take this one.
All right, go ahead, Parker. Let them down easy.
As much as I hate Arsenal, they just can't lose Saka. Saka's he can play the whole left side of the field. Like, I don't know, I haven't seen a player like that in a while, but he's definitely special. You got Martinelli, young, also special. And then I'm forgetting, is it a James who is another young one? Or is that it's Daniel James. He's on the wrong team.
They wish they had Daniel James.
He's my lover. Anyways.
There's a lot of players. Timo Werner, N'Golo Kante, Daniel James.
Okay, but Conte's got a special place. But I don't know. Arsenal's they just got to keep their young guys, watch them blossom, get rid of Luiz. He's still obviously on Chelsea. Like, you can tell by his gameplay.
He's still playing for Chelsea. He's helping us a lot right now.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, Arsenal's bad. Listen, Oliver, okay? Obviously, it's not great to be an Arsenal fan. I was watching the Arsenal highlights against Brighton, and the top comment was, who else gets bullied at school because of this club? And I instantly thought of Ollie Sohn. I instantly thought of Matt Rose, Luke Garrett, all the Arsenal fans at our school. But I actually wrote down beforehand a starting lineup that I would like to see from Arsenal. Maybe next year, in a couple of years. It's basically all young guys. Like, now looking back at it, it's pretty much all young guys, with the exception of Leno. So I'm keeping Leno in goal, Bellerin at the right back. I have a little placeholder for both center backs because I think you guys are in serious trouble right now with center backs. You need to get some new ones. Left back, I'm putting Tierney. And then the midfield, we got CDM, we got Martinelli. I don't like him, but he's really, really good and really young. Guendouzi, who I also don't like, but I'm putting him as well.
Ew.
Joe Willock at center mid. So those are already three young midfielders. Then you got Tierney, obviously, on the left, young. And then here's my starting 3. Again, this might not be for next season, but maybe a couple seasons. I'm keeping Pepe at right wing. Bukayo Saka, instead of putting him at left back, I decided obviously to go for Tierney instead, put him at left wing. And then starting at striker, did I put Lacazette? No. Did I put Aubameyang? No. I put Eddie Nketiah. You probably haven't heard too much about him, but he's good. He played well against
scored versus West Ham.
And he scored against Brighton, I think. So,
yeah.
Listen, that's your Arsenal rebuild right there. It's all young guys with the exception of Leno. There's not too much. I'll have to do more research on Arsenal and their transfer targets. But Ollie, listen, man, I know it's a tough time being an Arsenal fan, and I used to make fun of me for being a Chelsea fan, but look at us now. It's not the best time to be an Arsenal fan. So that's it. That's the rebuild I have for Arsenal. Ego, do you have any opinions on Arsenal, or is it just a dead club?
I mean, I liked how you were talking about more of like playing the youngsters. I think it's time they sell either Aubameyang or Lacazette. I think they don't need both of them. So you sell one, you could get good money, and then help that money could help them solve the center back crisis that they're in. They could use some better center backs.
I agree. I mean, David Luiz, Socrates is just not cutting it. Mustafi's terrible. I mean, it's not like I said. I'm going to say this 10 million times. It's just not a good time to be a Chelsea or Arsenal fan. All right, so it seems like we've got the first week of the Premier League covered. We'll touch base again, possibly at the end of next week or whenever. Do we have any last comments before we do our game with Parker? No comments. Great.
No,
That's
none.
exciting. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any comments either. I feel like we covered a lot. But now comes the portion of the podcast. It's called Who Does He Play For? We did it in the last podcast, and Parker got 0 out of 5 correct, which is expected because I guarantee you none of you guys listening right now has heard of any of these players. So I have 5 players, one from each of Europe's top 5 leagues, and I'm going to name the player, and you have to tell me who they play for. Is that understood? You ready, Parker?
Watch this.
So we're going to start off in the Premier League. We have James Garner. What team does he play for?
It's a made-up name. He doesn't exist.
He's also an actor from like the 50s, I found out today.
It's got to be Burnley.
No, it's Manchester United. Yeah, he's the only player on Manchester United that I've never heard of. But yeah.
Wow.
Next player, we go over to La Liga in Spain. We have Joseph Aidoo. Aidoo. What team does he play for, Parker?
RCD
Mallorca? No, he plays for Celta Vigo. All right.
I was not getting that.
Now we're going to Eco's home country of Italy. Ready for this? Ricardo Calafiori.
He could literally be on any team.
Eco, tell me. Ricardo Calafiori. Can you pronounce that for me?
You pronounce it pretty well, honestly.
I want you to say it in your Italian accent.
Can you say it in Italian?
Ricardo Calafiori.
Say it in Italian, please.
Riccardo Calafiori.
He gets shy.
You nervous little Italian.
He gets nervous when he speaks Italian. Anyway, Ricardo Calafiori. What team does he play for?
That's literally the most Italian name I've ever heard in my life.
That's why I picked it, because I actually envisioned Eco saying it as an Italian accent.
Dude, it's got to be Cagliari.
No, it's AS Roma, another big team there. Throwing in the big guys here.
Bullying.
He suffered a pretty bad injury, and he plays mostly for the youth team, so I wouldn't expect you to get that. Next team.
Stop hacking.
This guy, I believe, is Portuguese or Brazilian. He plays in the Ligue 1. His name is Pedro Brazao. What team does he play for?
I'm not going to lie. I don't even know all the Ligue 1 teams off the top of my head.
I wouldn't blame you. It's the Farmers League. So.
Honestly, all I know is PSG and like OM.
OM.
Marseille. I do know who they are.
What's the team, bro?
It's got to be Monaco.
No,
Gotta be.
It's Nice. It's Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Final one.
Wow.
We're going over to the Bundesliga.
Oh, I got this.
No, you don't.
Watch so much Bundesliga.
Sven Michel. What team does he play for?
Can you repeat it?
Sven Michel. SvenMichel.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Sven Michel plays for a team that you're not going to guess. And if you do...
Can I have the origin of the word, please?
German? I don't know. Let's look it up. Let's see where Sven Michel is from.
Can I look it up?
Oh, he is German. Sven Michel, German. Born.
I got this. Watch this.
You're not going to get it unless you just Googled it, which I know you didn't.
I didn't. You can see my hands.
Go on.
It's... I swear it's the one team I'm forgetting right now.
Go on.
But it's probably going to be Werder Bremen.
Werder Bremen. No, it's Paderborn.
Oh, I was not getting that.
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to get that. So
wait, I thought they were Bundesliga too.
No, man, they're Bundesliga.
Man, a relevant team.
Let's see. I want to see where they sit at the table right now. Another thing I want to mention, I forgot to mention this. When the Bundesliga started up, I was recording every game, watching every single game, whether if it was Bayern versus Dortmund or Augsburg versus Wolfsburg. You know what I mean? I was watching every single game. I
How did
haven't
you do that
watched.
to yourself?
You might be different, but I haven't watched a single Bundesliga game since the Premier League started. I don't
Yeah,
care
I
about
mean,
the Bundesliga.
people were just watching it because it was the only
It was
sport
the only one on. And it's a great league in my opinion, but once the Premier League started, I haven't watched any Serie A game, any La Liga game, any Bundesliga game. I watched one Coppa Italia game, the final. How are you not going to watch that? But I haven't watched a single game.
I mean, I've dabbled in a bunch of Syria.
Dabbled.
Yeah, dabbled in it. I
Oh,
watched.
by the way, just letting you know, Paderborn are 8 points clear of dead last in Bundesliga.
Wow. Okay, they're horrible.
And Werder Bremen is above them, so you were close.
Anyways, I watched Serie A. I watched Lazio, Atalanta.
Okay.
Atalanta, man. So inspirational. So inspirational.
They've been really doing a lot this June.
They were down 2-0 to Lazio.
Were they really? Has he just cut out? You
And
just
then
cut out a little bit.
Milinkovic-Savic, beautiful goal. And then I don't even remember the guy's name on Atalanta. Like they don't have any notable names except for Illich.
Ilicic.
Yeah.
And then what was it? Palasic, the Chelsea guy we just sold.
Salic.
And then there's Gomez too.
Not to be biased, but AC Milan had a pretty good weekend.
Ooh, you suck.
We won 4-0 versus Lecce.
Imagine celebrating and winning against Lecce, bro. That's like milk in Spanish. No one knows what that team is.
Hey, it was a good game.
What was the score?
4-1.
You conceded against Lecce?
We played.
Donnarumma conceded? What the hell is
Donnarumma conceded? I thought he was the best goalie ever, Iko.
Best Italian goalie
he's
to
one of
ever
the top
walk the
goalies
earth.
in the world. He's one of the top goalies in the world.
Okay.
Changed my mind.
Okay, what would you rank him? I would rank him maybe 10.
Whoa. No.
All right, 6.
Don't take away from Donnarumma.
He's top 5 for sure.
I agree with
Oblak.
that.
Put him at
Oblak, Ter Stegen.
Donnarumma.
Donnarumma.
He's third.
Put him at 3. You would not put him at 3.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would.
I would.
Who's better?
Maybe 4.
Ederson, Allison.
No, I'd put Allison above.
No.
Ederson, no.
I
I'd
can
put
respect Allison, not Ederson.
Ederson is a better goalkeeper than Donnarumma.
No way.
Yes. Okay, maybe he doesn't get a lot of shots taken on him. Ederson is a better player than Donnarumma, not only because of his goalkeeping skills, but because of his skills with his feet. And that's not deniable. He has Manuel Neuer-esque feet skills. And that's
Okay.
That's undeniable.
Donnarumma is
But Donnarumma has no one to pass to. Like, what is he going to do?
Okay, first
What
of all,
striker?
Hernandez.
Right.
Romagnoli. No, come on.
Yeah, Romagnoli, one of the top defenders in Italy.
No, but you have to. If you're gonna say
Okay.
a Milan player, you have to say it in your accent.
Donnarumma is 21 years old. He's already one of the top goalies in the world.
Yes.
I think he could be one of the best goalies ever to live. I mean, 21 years old. 21 years old and he's already a top tier goalie.
He's got potential. I'm not denying.
He's one of the
definitely
best
got
goalies
potential.
to ever live.
He's 21
Probably.
and he's already a top
You
5
think he's
goalie.
gonna be like as good as Buffon?
Dude,
No.
Buffon was just consistent.
Nobody will ever be Buffon.
But he's not even the best goalkeeper ever.
Donnarumma, in my opinion, he is.
Donnarumma.
Listen, in your
Donnarumma.
opinion and in your brother's opinion, Romagnoli is top 3 center back in Serie A.
That's just not
That's
facts.
just not facts, right?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it is. Yes,
Top
it is.
5, maybe.
He
Top
wouldn't
5,
start for
maybe.
Chelsea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
would.
would. Yes,
Yeah,
he would.
No,
Yeah,
he
he would.
wouldn't.
Yes, he
Yeah,
would.
he
Alright,
would.
maybe he
Yeah, he
would.
would.
Chelsea's a bad example.
Classic bias, Aidan.
You're
He
the one
wouldn't.
saying
He wouldn't
that
start for
Romagnoli-
Liverpool. He wouldn't start for Liverpool.
You're right.
No.
He wouldn't start. He
You're
wouldn't
gonna
start
make
for
the
Man
argument.
City.
Romagnoli has more goals in the Serie A this season than Van Dijk does. Like that's the type of argument
Shut
Eco's
up.
gonna put up. Anyway, boys, well, good conversation. This puts an end to our second episode of Inside the D. We'll be back next week, hopefully. And Any last comments before we go?
Arsenal sucks.
Arsenal sucks. Sorry, Ollie, Matt, and Luke. Arsenal's terrible. We'll see you guys next time.